Marianne Binetti, and it is midsummer, and I am in my cutting garden here in the Pacific Northwest. I'm going to show you how to prune David Austin roses, and a David Austin rose is a English rose variety. What that means, it was simply developed in England by a man named David Austin to look like an old-fashioned, very open rose, but very fragrant and repeat blooming. So this particular David Austin rose is called Pretty Lady Rose. It's a variety that is actually named after a Downton Abbey character, but beautiful pink flowers, very fragrant, and I want to keep this blooming all summer. So here's the tip. As I cut, first of all, I have my water out here in the garden so that when I cut a rose, it immediately will go into water. This is kind of a old-fashioned Victorian method of gathering flowers. But the most important thing is I'm using gloves to protect my arms from the thorns, and I'm using clippers. Pruners can get right in close. Wherever you cut your rose is where you will sprout new growth. David Austin roses and many roses are big and tall. You want to cut them down low and close, because here, where I cut earlier, is where it's going to sprout the new growth for more roses. So, for instance, here's a rose that is kind of bloomed out. The David Austin roses have roses on the sides, roses in the middle, unlike a hybrid tea rose with a single flower on a long stem. So what I like to do is, this rose is kind of bloomed out. I'll get in here. I can prune out the rose that is bloomed out. Those petals are falling. I'll go ahead and let those petals go down to the base of the rose. And now these can bloom without the unsightliness of a bloomed out rose. But you can see where I've cut earlier, right here, how this is going to encourage a new branch to come straight out and bloom again. So here's a rose all by itself. I'm going to go down, down, down. Remove it. And interesting, because roses will carry black spot, mildew, and insects on the underside of their leaves. What I like to do is look upside down, check the leaf for any sign of black spot, mildew, and of course just remove that leaf if it's going to be underwater when you're making a rose arrangement. So once you have a big flush of blooms like this on any rose plant in midsummer, and you want to have another flush of bloom, fertilize. So you want to fertilize your roses at least twice a year. Fertilize in the spring when you see the daffodils blooming, and fertilize again when you harvest from a big flush of roses and flower. And remember, when you prune your large roses, like the David Austin varieties of roses, you want to follow the stem all the way down deep into the plant to encourage new growth that will give you more flowers, and you can have a rose garden all summer long. This has been Marianne Binetti with Easy Answers for Great Gardens.